So in light of this going to be a three-part series of different urban legends, I would like to remind you guys that if you are a fan of this content and a fan of the channel, feel free to click that subscribe button down below and also click that like button while you're down there. And if there's anything at all that you would like to see in a future video, feel free to leave a comment down below as well. And let me know if there's anything that you think would make a decent future video, or even if there's anything in particular that you would like as far as feedback on anything that you think could improve the channel moving forward as well. And with that, let's go ahead and discuss the Wendigo. Now, the main topic in today's video that we're going to be discussing is the Wendigo, and it's going to be covering primarily what is the Wendigo. And I figured for part of knowing what it is, it'd be nice to look into a couple key factors, such as where does it originate from, what type of effect does it have on people, as well as what groups of people tend to believe in this urban legend. And with that, we're going to start out with the areas where it originally originated from. And that, from the research, states that it originated from the folklore of the First Nations, and that's to include portions of Canada that have their versions of this legend, which it's primarily going to be around the East Coasts and the Great Lakes regions. And then there's also portions of the United States that also believe in this legend, which is going to be focused more on the Great Lakes area as well as the Great Plains. And with that, you might be asking yourself, well, in these areas, what type of people tended to believe in these legends? And that's primarily going to fall into what appears to be the Algonquin speaking peoples, as well as the Athabascan people, which have their own parallel version of this legend. And I'm not entirely sure if I pronounced that properly, so I do apologize if I didn't pronounce that name correctly. But it seems to be primarily Algonquin speaking people and the Athabascan people that have their versions of this legend, from what I'm seeing in my research. Also, I did want to let you guys know, just as a quick pause here from the content, that if you guys are feeling like you want to support the channel more than just a subscription, that I have launched a Patreon page for the channel, and that's going to be a link that's in the description down below. It's going to be a 3-tier Patreon page, with each tier coming with its own benefits, as well as different type of things that you'll have access to, ranging from behind the scenes footage to live streams each month, and also being able to partake in polls as well as discussions that could influence the future of the channel. So if that's something that you'd find interesting and want to partake in, feel free to click the link in the description down below, take a look over those tiers, see if that's something you'd be interested in, and I hope I see you. Now, with getting back to the content, we'd like to discuss what type of effect does the Wendigo have on people. And according to some of the lore that I've found, humans that seem to be overcome with greed are said to have come under the influence of the Wendigo. But then also at the same time, it's stated that the influence of the Wendigo is also said to have led people to turn toward cannibalism and start eating other humans. And those are just two samples of what I found in the different research readings that I performed for this topic. And I'd like to know what you guys have heard in the comments down below, or if you guys, what you think about that as well. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, I wanted to answer one more question of whether or not the Wendigo was human at one point. And according to some of the lore, it was human until they came under the influence of the Wendigo and started to give in to the acts of greed. And according to some other lore that I've read, however, it also states that a Wendigo was human at one point until they have committed murder after coming under the influence and performing cannibalism. However, at the same time, I'm not 100% sure if they had to commit murder and then the cannibalism, or if it was just the act of cannibalism after coming under the influence that causes them to turn. And with that being said, I'd like to hear what your thoughts on that are down below as well. Do you believe that's something that could lead to a Wendigo as far as them having to commit murder and then cannibalism, or is it just the act of cannibalism? What's your thoughts and beliefs on that? So with that short little talk about a Wendigo, I think that's going to do it for the video for today, guys. I would like to remind you that if you do enjoy the content, feel free to click that subscribe button down below, as well as the like button. And also at the same time, remind you guys that in the description down below, there is going to be a Patreon link if you decide that you would like to support the channel in that manner as well. And as always, enjoy life. Take it a day at a time. And I'll catch y'all next time.